Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we're going to play Gladiator Beasts. Now, famously, before the pickup box came out, actually like a couple days before the pickup box was announced, I wrote a post on Reddit where I said Konami could release literally every Gladiator Beast card in the game and it wouldn't matter. And then it was revealed that we were going to get Gladiator Beast United and Gladiator Beast Comeback. And then the skill came out this box. So I was wrong, actually. I genuinely thought that Gladiator Beasts without a main phase 2 would be completely irrelevant no matter what Konami did. The skill has really shocked me, because it just gives you so much reach that I never realized Gladiator Beasts could have if they were guaranteed to get rejection. It's funny too, like this card is considered, it's bad enough, awkward enough that Konami would put this as a neutral rarity card. But at the same time, if you're guaranteed to have it and it doesn't cost you anything as a 5th card, it legitimately just makes your deck so much more consistent and so much harder to deal with. And it's funny because Domitianus, which is now the ace monster of the deck, again, a very, very powerful card, but it's so situational and so difficult to make that it was made a rare when it was initially released. So this box, this deck, is a complete shock to me as to how good it actually ended up being. Do I think it's a tiered deck? No. This is probably the highest rogue that Gladiator Beast will ever be, but it's very, very solid in rogue. I have had so much fun playing this deck. I played it on stream for hours, and having Gladiator Beasts is like this, kind of like if you go second, you just blow up the entire field, and if you go first, you summon Negates. I mean, it's like if Galaxy Eyes had Negates. Like, it's very similar to the Xyz Galaxy deck, where if you go first, you just summon Domitianus, and then you pop your opponent's monsters and negate their effects, and if you go second, you just make Gizaris, and you blow up everything. Yeah, actually, you know what? The Xyz Galaxy comparison is very strong here. I'm going to stick with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the skill and what we can do here. The skill is called Domain of the Gladiator Beast. You can use the skill's second effect once per duel if your deck contains 8 or more Gladiator Beast monsters. You cannot special summon except special summons from the extra deck any monsters except Gladiator Beast monsters and Beast-type monsters. So you can summon Test Tiger, which is nice. Reveal 1 Gladiator Beast monster in your hand. Then place 1 Gladiator Rejection from your deck, graveyard, or among your banished cards on your field face down. So, okay. So you just run 1 copy of Gladiator Rejection, and you always have it. That makes the deck so much more consistent, because Gladiator Rejection is a card that you do want to have all the time, but having 3 of them was awkward, and you didn't always open it even with 3 of them. This is way, way better. So as long as you play a certain number of Gladiator Beasts, then you reveal a Gladiator Beast monster in your hand, and you pop off. And is that good? Yes, it's extremely good. Rejection's effect is, your opponent cannot target Gladiator Beast monsters you control with card effects, except during the battle phase. If a Gladiator Beast monster is special summoned from your main deck, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck with a different type from the monsters you control in defense position. Now, it's important to note that when a monster is special summoned from Gladiator Rejection, it is not special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, therefore its effect that gets activated will not trigger. But getting extra bodies on the board, especially any body that you want, is very, very useful. So let's take a look at the deck. For the main deck, we have Gladiator Beast Vespasius at 2. At the start of the damage step, if your Gladiator Beast monster battles a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. While you control this card, special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, all monsters you control gain 500 attack points. At the end of the battle phase of this card battle, you can shuffle this card in the deck to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck except Vespasius. That is an effect that all of the Gladiator Beasts except for Andal have. So Vespasius is necessary to play Domitianus, and Vespasius itself is not particularly good. It special summons itself during the battle phase, which makes it really good if you have a main phase too, but you don't. So typically how you want to get this card out is with Rejection. You Rejection, special summon the Vespasius, then you can make some plays with it. We are playing 3 copies of Rescue Rabbit and 3 copies of Unexpected Die. Unexpected Die, if you control no monster, special summon a level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck. And Rescue Rabbit, you can banish this card to special summon 2 level 4 or lower normal monsters with the same name from your deck, but destroy them during the end phase. We are playing 3 copies of Gladiator Beast Andal as the target for this. Andal isn't a particularly good card on its own, but it is a Gladiator Beast monster, and it triggers Rejection so that you can do cool plays. Darius, when this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you can target a Gladiator Beast monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effect is negated by this card, and it is shuffled into the deck when this card leaves the field. At the end of the battle phase of this card attack, you can shuffle it into the deck, special summon one Gladiator Beast monster from your deck except Darius. So Darius allows you to bring back your Vespasius after you've linked it off, which is crazy. The addition of link monsters has really made Gladiator Beasts much, much better, because it means that Gladiator Beasts can put Vespasius in the graveyard and then target it with Darius to get free bodies, basically. Is that good? Yes, it's very good. Liquari, if this card was special summoned by a Gladiator Beast monster, its original attack becomes 2100. Liquari is not a particularly good card, but it's necessary to summon Heraclinos, so we're playing it at 1. Test Tiger, if you control a face-up Gladiator Beast monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You contribute this card to target one face-up Gladiator Beast monster you control, shuffle that target into the deck, and then special summon one Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, and treat it as if it was special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster. So Test Tiger is a cool little card that allows you to kind of trigger your Gladiator Beast monster effects in the main phase if you need to, but primarily what we want Test Tiger for is an extra body to go into the Test Panther, because Test Panther only requires one Gladiator Beast monster. So you can special summon Test Tiger and then link Test Tiger off to come into Test Panther. That's very useful. Also, Test Tiger's ability to special summon itself is not once per turn. Gladiator Beast Bestiari, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. It also goes into Gazaris, and Gazaris is insane. So we play this card at 1, it's fantastic. Sagittarius, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you can discard one Gladiator Beast card to draw 2 cards. That's pretty solid. You can use this card to get Vespasius out of your hand if you have it in your hand and draw 2. That's useful, so definitely do that. Retiari, when this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you can banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard without targeting, by the way. That is extremely useful, especially with all of the Shiranui players running around, and now also the Synchron players. Yeah, just banish cards from your opponent's graveyard and make it so that their skills don't work. Pretty useful to have as a 1-card option. Gladiator Beast United, during the battle phase, shuffle into the deck from your hand, field, or graveyard the fusion materials that are listed on a Gladiator Beast fusion monster, then special summon that fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You can only activate 1 Gladiator Beast United per turn, and you cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this card, except Gladiator Beast monsters. So this card will let you get out your Heraclinos or your Domitianus just easily. Ridiculously easily. So this is a great card. You can search it off of Test Panther, which is why we're only playing it at 1, but it's a fantastic one of. Do not sleep on this card, it's insane. Speaking of fantastic one-ofs, Gladiator Beasts come back. Special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or graveyard with a different type from the monsters you control. They cannot be destroyed by battle forever. Not being able to be destroyed by battle as a lingering effect is pretty cool, but primarily the benefit of this card is that it just lets you summon Vespasius without tributing. Great. Then we have Gladiator Beast Respites. Shuffle 2 Gladiator Beast cards from your hand into your deck and then draw 3 cards. Sadly, Gladiator Proving Ground and Gladiator Rejection are not Gladiator Beast cards, so you can't shuffle those, but you can shuffle the other traps like Charge and War Chariot, which is nice. This is essentially even because you're giving up 1 card and then 2 cards to draw 3, but it does allow you to kind of fix your hand, and that's really valuable. Proving Ground, add 1 level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your deck to your hand. People are comparing this to Reinforcement of the Army, which is inaccurate because the Gladiator Beast monsters mostly don't have effects unless they're special summoned from the deck. So this is like asking you to draw a card that you don't want to special summon from the deck. Basically, the primary benefit of Proving Ground is to draw exactly Liquari or Bestiari so that you can make Gazaris or Heraclinos. That's still useful enough to play it at 2, but you shouldn't think that this card is as powerful as Reinforcement of the Army. It's definitely not. Gladiator Beast Charge. Target face-up cards on the field up to the number of Gladiator Beast monsters you control with different names and destroy them. This is not once per turn, by the way, so you can use it multiple times. That's great. Definitely plays card 2, it's strong, and it will let you win games. And lastly, for the main deck, we have Gladiator Beast War Chariot. When an effect monster's effect is activated, if you control a face-up Gladiator Beast monster, negate the activation and destroy it. This is a counter trap, which means it cannot be responded to by anything other than another counter trap. Is that good? It's insane. And it also does not require the monster to be on the field. So you can negate cards in the graveyard, you can negate cards in the hand, and you can destroy them. Fantastic. Play this card, it is great. For the extra deck, we are playing Gladiator Beast Heraclinos. This card is nuts. Gladiator Beast Liquari plus 2 Gladiator Beast monsters. It must be special summoned from your extra deck by shuffling the above cards you control into the deck. During either player's turn, when a spell or trap is activated, you can discard one card, negate the activation, and destroy it. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve its effect. So if your opponent Book of Moons your Heraklinos in response to activating Heraklinos' effect, and you don't negate the Book of Moon, then you don't get to resolve the negate, which is kind of sad. But this is a stupid effect. It is not once per turn. It's not even once per chain. It's not once per chain. How could it not be once per chain? This is crazy. Your opponent tries to activate a spell or trap, discard a card, negate it. They're like, oh, he used his negate. Okay, cool. I'm going to activate a different card in response. Discard a card, negate it. It is Herald of Perfection. But you can use any card instead of just fairies. It only works on spells and traps. It doesn't work on monsters, but still, that's insane. Herald of Perfection, I can't describe how powerful of an effect that is. And Heraklinos is harder to summon than Herald of Perfection, to be fair. But still, it's not that much harder to summon since you have the fusion spell. So, Heraklinos is hilarious. It's kind of balanced by the fact that we only open with 4 cards in our hand. But now that we have a rejection for free, you can make this card really, really easily. So definitely consider playing this card against decks like Blue Eyes that run a ton of spells and traps. You will crush people with this card. Gladiator Beast Gazaris requires Gladiator Beast Bestiari plus 1 Gladiator Beast monster. Must first be special summoned by shuffling the above cards into the deck. When this card is special summoned, you can target up to 2 cards on the field and destroy those targets. At the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can return it to the extra deck and special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck. So, a couple things to note. Number 1, that is not up to 2, it is 2. So if you do not have space to summon 2 monsters from your Gazaris, you will not summon anything. Secondly, Gazaris is when it's special summoned, because it doesn't fusion summon itself. That also means that it triggers off of being summoned from the graveyard, and it is not once per turn. So Gazaris is crazy. You summon Gazaris, you pop 2 cards, and then you link it off into Test Panther, which then allows you to draw your comeback. Comeback, revive Gazaris from the graveyard, pop 2 more cards. And then if you are somehow able to play United as well, then you can summon your other Gazaris by using the Bestiari, which you special summon from your deck with Test Panther, and then pop 2 more cards. So Gazaris is like a whole thing. You can base your entire deck around Gazaris. Definitely play this card at 2. It is really, really good. It is definitely worth playing it 2. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Gazaris, and I'm having a lot of fun just sacking people with this card. Then for your boss monster, level 10, Gladiator Beast Domitianus. 3,500 attack points, 1,200 defense points. Gladiator Beast Vespasius plus 2 Gladiator Beast monsters. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by shuffling the above cards you control into the deck. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, as a quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. You choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks. Crazy. So this is actually really good against Sky Strikers, because when Hayate tries to attack directly, you say no, and you have Domitianus take the hit instead, and your opponent loses their monster and takes 2,000 damage, and if they try to revive Ray, you negate the Ray revive. So Domitianus destroys Sky Strikers. It's really, really funny. At the end of the battle phase of this card battle, you can return this card to the extra deck to special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck. That is weak. I'm surprised that it's only 1, but regardless, you're not going to do that anyway. You just keep Domitianus out and just keep crushing people with it. Gladiator Beast Esidari, this card is kind of terrible. It requires 2 Gladiator Beast monsters. You special summon it by shuffling. It has 2,500 attack points and no effect. It's a kind of a cool effect to just like let you put your monsters back in the deck if you need to, get some space on the board, and also it's a high attack value for what you're getting. Like if you were trading on Dahl and maybe Rediari to get 2,500 attack points, like 1,900 and 1,200 is not worth 2,500. So you are getting some good value out of this card. You can kind of think of this card as like a rank 4, really. A rank 4 that you can make with 3s, which makes it a lot more useful for Gladiator Beasts. But it's not a card that I ever summon. It's kind of a bad option, but it's a really easy card to make with the United. So you could probably get lethal off of it sometimes. Surprising lethal. So it's definitely worth having in the extra deck, I think. Test Panther, definitely play this card too. Like 100%. You will make this card 2 times in one duel, I guarantee it. Test Panther requires 2 monsters, including a Gladiator Beast monster. You can use itself, which is great. So you can summon Test Panther, pass to your opponent. Next turn, summon another Gladiator Beast, and then link into Test Panther using Test Panther and that Gladiator Beast. It's crazy. If this card is link summoned, you can add one Gladiator Beast card from your deck to your hand. Spell, trap, or monster. Useful. If you target one Gladiator Beast monster you control, shuffle that Gladiator Beast into the deck, and if you do special summon one Gladiator Beast with a different original name from your deck, this is treated as special summoning by a Gladiator Beast monster effect. You can only use each effective Test Panther once per turn. So, you special summon your Test Panther by linking off your Vespasius. You draw your comeback. Then you summon a monster, and then you use Test Panther to shuffle. Special summon Darius. Darius, bring back the Vespasius. Then you play your comeback to bring back the other monster that you used to link off. And then you can send all three of those back to get Domitianus. If you already have the comeback, or if you have another way to get a monster on the field, such as with Rescue Rabbit or Unexpected Die, you can draw a War Chariot instead and get another trap negate. Fantastic. So the primary end board for this deck is going to be Test Panther, Domitianus, Rejection, and War Chariot, which is really hard for your opponent to deal with. Then lastly, we're playing Dragaces. Dragaces is actually a really good card, but it's really, really bad without a main phase too. And that's kind of like, I understand that's kind of the whole theme of Gladiator Beasts, but you have to understand, they made this card to be good for Gladiator Beasts, and we just don't have good Gladiator Beast cards because of the lack of main phase 2. So, 2,000 attack points linked to 2 Gladiator Beasts. If a Gladiator Beast monster you control attacks, it cannot be destroyed by that battle. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. That's crazy. So, all of your Gladiator Beasts can't be destroyed by battle, and they also are Ancient Gear cards. That's really, really powerful. And then at the end of the battle phase of this card battled, you can return this card to the extra deck to special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters with different names from your deck. So it pays for itself, and it also very easily enables Gladiator Beast combos. Real problem with Dragaces is that because it summons 2 on its own, it's also encouraging you to play more monsters and attack with those. You kind of run out of space, honestly, because you can't special summon to the extra monster zone from your deck. So you're taking this card out of the extra monster zone, summoning 2 monsters, and also summoning another monster at least with the rest of your board. So you're going to run out of space. And that's kind of one of the reasons that Dragaces is not too good. But it's a really interesting option. And honestly, you shouldn't discount the ability to put Gladiator Beast in your graveyard. That's kind of one of the things that Gladiator Beast struggle with the most, is being able to put themselves in the graveyard as opposed to shuffling them into the deck. And this card definitely puts them in the graveyard so that you can very easily use your United. So, alright, that's the deck. Let's take a look at the replay. Alright, so we're going first against S-Force. We reveal our Sagittari, activate the Rejection, then we activate Unexpected Die. Special summon the Andal, activate Rejection's effect to special summon the Vespasius from the deck. Then we activate Respite because we have Darius in our hand. We need to get Darius out of our hand. Draw 3. Activate Respite again. Draw 3. Link off. Test Panther. We drew Comeback, by the way, which was great. Test Panther, since we have Comeback, we're going to go ahead and draw War Chariots. Then we normal summon Andal. Test Panther, shuffle the Andal, special summon the Darius. Darius, now, in this instance, we're going to special summon Andal from our graveyard because the only other Gladiator Beast monster in our graveyard is Vespasius, and Comeback says you can special summon monsters with a different type from the monsters you control. Darius is a Beast Warrior, so is Andal, so if I revived Vespasius with Darius, then I would not be able to revive anything with Comeback. So, playing around that. Activate Comeback, bring back the Vespasius. Now we have 3. Link Contact Fuse into Domitianus, and set the War Chariot. It's our opponent's turn. They activate Terraforming and draw the Bridgehead. Activate Bridgehead, draw the Chiyomaru. Normal summon Chiyomaru. Now, at this point, the opponent is going to activate Chiyomaru's effect. I strongly considered using War Chariot here because I was worried that my opponent had some sort of interruption for Domitianus. Because why would they just walk into Domitianus, right? But I decided against it because specifically War Chariot was my surprise factor. So I went ahead and used the Domitianus effect instead. Negated the Chiyomaru, and then my opponent just sets 2 and passes. Okay. So my turn, I attack directly, and my opponent is going to activate S-Force Showdown, and they are going to add the Chiyomaru to their hand. I guess they thought that they could special summon it from the graveyard, and then they concede. There you go. So the ability to have multiple negates, the ability to build a strong board and get lethal really, really easily while also being untargetable. Because my opponent, I guarantee you, the other face down card was either S-Force Chase or it was Compulsory Evacuation Device. Not able to activate to target my cards at all. This is the power of the Domain of the Gladiator Beast skill. This is the power of Gladiator Rejection being free as a 5th card in your hand. Do not sleep on this deck. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.